At the University of Lincoln, we recognise that change is coming, and we're preparing our students to lead that change. That means a great student experience underpinned by world-class research. With our students, we're solving global challenges in fields like health, energy, agriculture, and climate. So come to an open day and be the change.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to our live lounge. This is all for getting ready to start Lincoln. So basically this evening we're wishing you a really good welcome. Welcome to the to this live lounge. So for the next hour, all of you students that have applied and you're starting and thinking about joining the University of Lincoln, we have got all of that information as to what to expect in that first week. So we've got all of our experts here. We've got student support, we've got our resident wardens, we've got Wellbeing, and we've got the Students' Union. So we can inform you with everything that you can expect. What we want from you is to say hi. So please say hi in the chat. Say where you're calling from, where you're watching from, what subject you're planning on studying, and also where you're planning on living when you join us here at Lincoln. We really want you to sort of get engaged and really sort of involve yourself in this. We hope that you've already joined some of those online communities already. If you are a parent and you've got questions as well and you're watching, please ask away. That's why we're here today. We've got sort of 3 weeks before we start, and we're really looking forward to you starting. So I would like to say hi to Bex, and also we've got an EU viewer from Estonia. So hi to you as well. So welcome and thank you for joining us this afternoon. And Angel, hi. We've got Angel and you're in Waddington, so not far to come. So that's really exciting. And hi to Lucy and hi to Nina. And you, brilliant. Nina, you have done exactly what I asked. So you're coming to study history and you're staying in the Gateway. So that's fantastic. Marnie, Charlotte, hi. We're really excited to see you this evening. So, and Simon and Indiana, all the way from Surrey. So fantastic. We're really looking forward to seeing you. Charlie, drama and theatre studies, Alex, so please ask. Oh, from Cornwall, and I bet it's much more. I bet it's nice and sunny in Cornwall today, and Stocking in Viking House. So that's fantastic, Alex. We're looking forward to you starting. Beth, all the way from Southampton, and Jared, hi to you, studying biology and staying in the Junction. So that's fantastic. And we've also got another sort of viewer as well. So before further ado, please keep asking your questions. Please sort of engage in the chat as you are doing. That's what we want you to do. And we are going to kick off this evening by my first guest. And my first guest is Libby. Libby is our student support officer here at the University of Lincoln. And Libby, you deal with the students literally every day, don't you, when they're on campus? So tell us a little bit about your role first.
Yeah, so I'm one of the student support officers at the University of Lincoln. So you find me in the Student Support Centre, which is one of the places that you'll find as a student you might pop into fairly often, because we can help you with a whole host of things, including letters confirming you're a student if you need them. We have advisors who can help with any issues you might have while you're studying, any advice that you need, whether that's about tenancy or course or a whole host of things. So my role is on the front desk, and so I can help you and signpost you in the right place if you're not sure where to go.
So lots of our viewers this evening could likely to see you in early October on the student support desk, which is based in our Minerva building.
Yeah.
So if you're sort of on our website and you want to have a look, Minerva building is where the student support centre is. My first question to you is, lots of people will be opening, I'm guessing, a student bank account, and that bank will want evidence that they are a student. So what do they do, and when would they do that? How can we support them?
Brill. So if you haven't yet enrolled and you would like a letter, it's actually the admissions team that would provide that to you. And you can email them at admissions@lincoln.ac.uk. But once you have enrolled as a student, if you do need any letters, whether that's for a bank or it might be to confirm you're a student if you're getting a bursary or a pension, there's a whole host of reasons why you might need a letter, and we can provide that for you. You just need to email us at letterrequests@lincoln.ac.uk.
That's fabulous. Thank you for that. And just going to have a quick hi to Daniel and to Becky as well. And I think they've already hooked up on their criminology online chat, which is amazing. So that's fab that you're here as well this evening. Another sort of question that lots of students are keen to know is obviously you want to be sort of be able to get all of the benefits that you can do as a student. Yeah. And also have access to our library and all of those sorts of things. Now we know because we work at the university that you can do that once you've got a student ID card. Yeah. But how do you go about getting a student ID card, and when do you get that?
Okay, so student ID cards is a really exciting part of coming to uni. I feel like it's kind of like the start of your uni experience, collecting your ID card. It's quite exciting. But the ID cards will be available for new taught and undergraduate students from the 27th of September to the 8th of October in the Stephen Langton building. When you arrive on campus, you'll be able to be signposted to where that is. There'll be lots of information sent to you as well in the run-up to you arriving at uni to let you know the times to be able to do that as well. But it will be in the Stephen Langton building.
That's amazing, thank you. And hi to Casey as well. You're studying sport and exercise starting next month, so that's exciting as well. And tell us where you're calling from, Casey, because that's really helpful. Because there might be lots of people in your area of the country as well. Another thing that obviously everybody in year 13 or a second year of a BTEC will have had sort of quite a torrid end of their schooling education. So they'll be keen to know what is on their timetable, when they're going to get their timetable, and what their timetable will look like. So when will people get their timetable?
Brilliant. So for Welcome Week, it's likely that you might already have access to it, or you'll have it really shortly. And that's for your first week at uni. But your timetable with kind of what's happening for the rest of term will be released to you on the 8th of October. So keep an eye out for that. That will be emailed to you. You'll get all that information. But the 8th of October. If for any reason you do need to know what's going on beforehand, sometimes the school can provide you kind of an idea of what your timetable might look like. That's particularly if you're an older student and you might have childcare and things like that to arrange. So it is worth getting in touch with your school if you need to know sooner. But if you just waiting for your timetable, it's the 8th of October, you'll receive it.
That's fabulous. And that's the 8th of October really is the real start. As we know, we've got Welcome Week and Talia is here from the SU, who will be able to tell you a little later all of the exciting things that we've got lined up for Welcome Week. But obviously the 8th of October is when we need to sort of get ourselves ready for the first start of the degree really, and learning, I guess. So that's perfect. Thank you for that. So keep a note on that. So my other question to you, Libby, is obviously lots of people will, the majority of students obviously apply for their student loan and their maintenance loan, where we're going to be able to live as a student, which is quite key. So can you just explain how that process works? Because obviously lots of people watching this evening will have applied for their student finance sort of back in like March probably. And it seems like a long time ago that process, and it's a very sort of formal government process to do that. So what happens next? What's the reality?
Of course. So, provided you've got everything in order, you won't receive your loan until after you start at university. So once you've enrolled on your course, the university has to confirm that you've attended to Student Finance England. So you will likely receive it 3 to 5 working days after the start date of your course, because that will be 3 to 5 working days after you've been confirmed. So for the majority of students, it will be around about the 11th of October that you should receive your student finance payment. And if you find that you haven't received it by that point and you know you've enrolled, if you email us at student support, we can have a look into that for you and check what's happened there. On a very rare occasion, the odd person does get it a little bit later, but we can definitely look into that for you. But you won't get it until you have enrolled on your course.
Fabulous, thank you. So our top tip for anybody watching, and particularly parents and you as sort of potential students, is make sure you've got a bit of cash for that first week, because your maintenance loan, as Libby has just told you, will not go in and will not activate until about the 11th. So to ensure that you can enjoy your welcome week and you've got plenty of groceries in and all of those things, make sure that you've got a bit of cash ready for that welcome week, because that's the week where you have lots of incidental spends, I think. So make sure that happens, and that's a really good tip, I think, for everybody watching this evening. So Vicky, is there anything, I mean, you're sort of work in Lincoln, is there anything that is your favourite part of Lincoln and the campus, so that everybody watching that may not have actually arrived or been on campus before?
Yeah, so many favourites. So I'm not originally from Lincoln, but I love the fact that I live in Lincoln. I think in terms of the university, one of my favourite places to sit is opposite the Student Support Centre. It's the Pier Cafe. They do really good coffee in there. But in terms of Lincoln as a whole, I think the cathedral is stunning, it's beautiful. And if you are able to travel outside of Lincoln a little bit, there's a great place called Daisy Maid where you can get drive-through ice cream. And I think that's like the best thing ever, being able to drive through and get ice cream. It
certainly is. It really is. And I can verify the coffee in the Pier Cafe is one of the best.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a coffee drinker, so that's always good to know. So can I just quickly say hi to Simon? You're not coming far from Tuxford, but great that you're living in the Gateway, because I think there's somebody else that's living in the Gateway as well in the chat. So it'd be good if you two could hook up, or you may already have done on the accommodation group. And Susie and John and all sorts of people are watching, and Erin. So hi to all of you this evening, and we are delighted to have you in. And watching this evening. Libby, I'm going to say goodbye to you now, and thank you so much for your advice. And just for everybody watching, the student support team are a host of sort of support for you, but also a wealth of knowledge. There's pretty much nothing that you won't have been asked, I guess, over the period of time during a normal. So, your first port of call, if you are struggling or you're just not sure, you just want a bit of navigation around the campus when you arrive, then the student support team are your go-to. And as we say, they are situated right in the centre of the campus. You can actually see from your office the Brayford Pool, can't you? And so please go. Please don't struggle if there's something that you're not sure about. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and to get your rest ready for the start of term when all of these lovely students will be back arriving on campus with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emma. Look forward to seeing you all soon.
Thank you. We've now got our next guest. Now, my next guest is Vicky, and if you have watched any of our virtual open days over the last few months, Vicky will not be a stranger to you. You will have met Vicky here before. And Vicky, tell us where you are located first.
So I'm currently sat in St Mark's, so the brand new one that has opened this year. And also this is where I'm based now. So if you've got any problems or anything, you can come and see me and I'll be happy to help you in any way, shape or form, or even if you just want to say hello.
Fabulous, that's exciting. So you've got a nice brand new office, Vicky, as well.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And just for all of the viewers, I know, obviously, because I've sort of met you several times before, but I know you are an alumni and you studied here at Lincoln, didn't you? What did you study?
So I studied psychology. So I was here for 3 years, and then I also stayed in courts as well for my time while I was here.
Fabulous. And I think we've got a few psychology students watching tonight as well. So that's quite exciting. So obviously I love that, Bex, as well. It is absolutely gorgeous sort of artwork behind you. Bex has sort of found that out. So thank you. And so my question to you is the big question that I think everybody that's sort of got probably bits of duvets and their own artwork sort of packed in their own bedroom, ready to come to be packed into mum and dad's car to come to Lincoln. They want to know what and how they will get their arrival information.
So it's been a bit of a time coming, but it is coming out this week. So if you haven't heard anything by Saturday or Sunday, please do get in contact. But it should be coming out to all students tomorrow and Friday. So all the exciting information is coming.
Fabulous. So we have timed this very well. So everybody, please check your emails. Please also check your junk emails. So over the next couple of days, as Vicky said, you will get your pre-arrival information, but please check your emails and check your emails that you have registered with accommodation for. And if it's not yours and it might be mum's and dad's email, let them know as well. So when you get that information, Vicky, what will be on that email?
So you'll get your accommodation induction, which will be just like filling out all your details and everything that we need to know, and just so you know a little bit about the accommodation that you're going into. And then once you have completed that, you will receive a link where you'll be able to book your arrival slot. So that will be the time that you have been designated to collect the key and move into your accommodation.
Fabulous. So is there any, and will there be action? Students will need to, is there a time that they need to sort of respond to you?
So if they do it as soon as possible, we advise that you pick the day that is best for you. So arrivals week is from the 27th of September to the 3rd of October. So each accommodation has different arrival dates. So make sure you read all the arrivals instructions and book a date best for you. We're running from 9 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. at night. So if you just book a slot, best for you, and we will see you on our receptions and around the university getting you all moved in and arrived.
What I would advise everybody watching, if you're a student, is before you commit to your arrival time, speak to the driver who will be bringing you to Lincoln. So as Vicky said, we've got a whole week of arrivals. And if that falls on a day when mum and dad are at work, just double check that they are available to bring you, because that's quite important, that you actually can sort of work on your side of the deal almost, I guess, isn't it?
Definitely.
So if they arrive, once they've arrived, and if they get into their room and there's some sort of issue with their room, what happens then?
Just need to give us a call or pop into one of the receptions and just see us, and we'll get it solved, whatever it is. If it's the fact that your key card doesn't work, we'll replace it. If there's something wrong, like the toilet doesn't flush, we'll get it fixed. So anything that you need, if you just come and see us, or even if you're just a little bit nervous, come and have a chat with us, or you can speak to the residential wardens or something, and then we'll be able to help you in the best way possible.
Fabulous, thank you. The other question I have for you, and I'm hoping that other people will have questions, please, I'm just going to ask you yet again, if you're watching, please ask a question. If you're not sure, however silly this question might be, please ask it, because moving into accommodation is something that I've got a whole host of questions, but really we really want your questions. So if you're not sure about what to bring, so I'm going to ask you, Vicky, what should you bring? What should you pack?
So for your room, you'll want your bedding, all your personal items, electronics. Don't forget your chargers, because there's nothing more frustrating than when you forget your phone charger or your laptop charger. You can bring TVs if you want them, but you'll need your own TV license for the ones in your room. Whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. You'll need all your towels, toiletries, and just everything to kind of make the room your little safe space from home that makes you nice and comfortable. And then for the kitchen, you'll want to bring your own pots, pans, plates, crockery. The ovens are all electric ovens, so you don't need to bring any special induction pans. So you just need to bring enough for yourself, and then if there's anything else that you need, you can kind of discuss it as a flat once you get here, and then you can buy more things that you need. One thing I would say is maybe discuss who brings a toaster, because you don't want to end up with everyone having a toaster, as you could end up with 12, and that's a lot of toasters.
It is a lot of toasters, and that could be vital space inside your room or your food cupboard, couldn't it?
Definitely.
We've got a couple of questions here, which is great. Thank you so much for starting to ask you the questions. I'm really grateful. We've got one, and they've obviously watched previous open days with you, Vicky. And the question is, we talked about 3/4 beds in the accommodation. Yes. Can you confirm that can you confirm which accommodation has 3/4 beds, which does indicate the bedding that you bring, I guess, as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So all of the accommodation, apart from Lincoln Courts, has 3/4 beds. So if you're in the Gateway, St Mark's, Signet Wharf, Viking House, 179 High Street, or Valentine Court, they are all 3/4 beds.
Fabulous, brilliant. Bex has asked, do electronics need to be pack tested before they arrive?
It is advised that they are, but we don't have a recommended list, but it is just strongly advised.
So if you've got the option to do that, Bex, then yes, we would advise that. Is that what? Yeah. Fabulous. Jenna has asked, once we've moved in and got our keys, are we able to leave the accommodation and come back as we please?
Yes, you can do. So if you move in on, say, the Tuesday, but you don't want to come back until the Sunday, you're more than welcome to. Just be aware that you might not be able to park on site if everyone else is moving in and we don't have availability, but you're more than welcome to come and go as you please once you have got your key.
That's a really, really sensible idea, actually, Jenna. And if you're not travelling too far to Lincoln, but mum and dad have got a slot, then get yourself moved in sensibly. And if you're not ready to sort of live at Lincoln, then that's a good way to do it, isn't it? You've got your keys and you're secure. Nick has got another question for us. Thank you, Nick. Can I bring my own lamp or put up fairy lights in my room? And he will be living in Courts. So that's fine.
Yes, you can do both. So you can put fairy lights up around the bed, on the pin board, and you can also bring your own light. It might be worth getting a light bulb that you can adjust the settings on, so like dimmer, because sometimes they're quite helpful if you're studying late and bits and bobs like that. But yes, you can definitely bring both.
Fabulous. Another person that is staying and moving into Lincoln Courts, so that's good. Casey is, how much storage space in the accommodation as a whole? She's moving into Lincoln Courts, and do you have plenty of information? That would be amazing.
So one thing that's good about our accommodation is it has a lot of storage. So there's plenty of underbed storage, and in the shelving around the rooms, there's always space for additional items. So I would not worry about storage.
So they are very generous with the storage. They've been very, very cleverly built, haven't they, and designed to ensure every little nook and cranny there is a little bit of storage, isn't there? And if you've watched previous open days with us, Vicky has done like a little tour and shown us all of the underbed storage and all sorts of things. So they're ingenious, I think. Charlotte has asked a question: how many people are allowed to help you move in? Which is a good question, actually, as I have 3 people coming with me. So that's like a really good moving in sort of question, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, definitely. So there is no limit on how many people that can help you move in. It's just obviously you'd all have to be in the same car, because when you book your arrival slot, you would only get a parking space for 1 car. So it would all depend on how much stuff you've got, what size car, and all of the factors that come into play. But you do only get 1 car for the slot that you arrive in.
Fabulous. Kitty has asked a great question, and you sort of alluded to this a little bit before with some of your information. But Kitty is moving into Signet Wharf, so that's fabulous. Really nice accommodation. It comes with a TV in the shared accommodation, which is pretty similar to you've got behind you in St Mark's, isn't it? Do we need a TV licence for that?
For the one in the lounge, you do not need a TV license for. That is provided by us. If you have any in your bedroom, that is not covered by us, so you would need to get your own TV license.
Just going to say hi to Crystal, and hopefully we've answered your question already. And also we've got another question from Mia. Are we allowed visitors straight away? So can we just, I think it's probably good, obviously she's asking about COVID guidance, but I think, Vicky, it'd be sort of handy to sort of talk about the policy of visitors into our accommodation.
So there is no specific rule. Obviously, we ask that you're respectful of your other flatmates and everything like that. We obviously ask that they're not here for prolonged periods of time, but a few nights a week or once a month or once every 2 weeks shouldn't be a problem. So just as long as you're being respectful to everyone else in the flat and it's not causing any problems, then there should not be an issue at all.
Fab. Kim has asked a question. She has a parent who is disabled. Are there any arrangements that can be made in moving in day for Kim?
So we're offering trolleys that help everyone when they arrive. And then when you book your arrival slot, if you email us afterwards and let us know, then we could potentially try to help put further things in place to help assist with your arrival.
Fabulous. Hugh has asked a question about 24-hour parking, and I will probably sort of jump in on your behalf, Vicky, for this one. The university doesn't have 24-hour parking sort of on site as such. We have student parking from 4:30 until I think it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. If you're somebody a bit of a night owl that wants to come to the library in the evening, but there certainly isn't 24-hour 24-hour parking available, unfortunately. But I would guess that if we're referring to sort of moving in day, there is sort of very strict sort of guidance on the sort of your time limit. Is that right, Vicky?
Yes. So on arrivals, you'll only get an hour and a half slot. So if you need to make sure that you're there at the start of your slot, and then by the end of your slot, you will be asked to move your car. So make sure you're really punctual and on time, because if you're late, you might not get as much time to unload your car. So top tip there.
Fabulous, thank you. Got another sort of couple of questions. Gateway, there is no student parking at Gateway. That's correct, isn't it, from Simon?
That is correct. There is no student car parking at Gateway.
And just to clarify for Beth, Lincoln Courts have single-size beds.
Yes, that is correct.
Brilliant, fabulous. So what else have we got? So we've got another question from Max, and just that's really helpful you've asked, because people may have joined a little bit later since we've sort of started with Vicky. I don't apologise, that's fine, that's why we're here, Max. But he says, sorry, I think I have missed this, but when we'll be able to book our time slot for moving in? So if you can just clarify that again, Vicky, for everybody watching.
So all the arrivals information is coming out over the next few days, and as soon as you receive the email with the accommodation induction, then you'll be able to book your arrival slot once that is complete.
Fabulous, thank you. And thank you, Casey, for jumping in there as well. That's really helpful. Angel has asked a question. Can I bring my hamster?
I'm afraid not. We don't allow pets in our student accommodation. As much as the accommodation team love animals, they're not allowed.
So you're going to have to leave your hamster at home with mum and dad, Angel, I'm afraid. So we've got a question about international students, and I think we've got several international students here this evening sort of watching, so that's great, and we're loving seeing you here this evening, so thank you for joining us. The question is, have we got any arrangements for quarantining? So the question, sorry, Ryan's a bit keen on my next question. Is there any arrangements for quarantine for international students? And I know there is, Vicky, so do you want to just sort of let everybody know what the arrangements are for that?
Yes, so there's two options. So you can come and stay at St Mark's in one of the blocks. We've set it all up for students who need to isolate. So you can come and stay with us. You just need to let student support know that that would be where you want to isolate, and then you get some support packs during your stay as well. And then once that's complete, you can go into your allocated accommodation. or you can choose to go into your allocated accommodation straight away. And that is just completely up to you if that is what you decide. But we do have everything in place to meet each individual student's needs.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. That's brilliant. Now, I've got a question for Liam. Now, Liam, I'm not ignoring you, but then I'm going to ask our next guest to answer that. And that's Yannick, and he's one of our resident wardens. So I'm going to sort of hold that question, Liam. So I'm not ignoring you. Zoe has asked a question, however, in fact, Hugh, I'll go to Hugh's question. And what I'm going to suggest to you, Hugh, is actually if you contact the accommodation office directly. So if you email, and I'm going to ask Vicky to confirm this, but I think it's accommodation@lincoln.ac.uk, then the accommodation team will be able to assist with any sort of parking. But I think it's probably just dealing with that on an individual basis, really. So Zoe, Angel, we've upset because she can't bring a hamster. But Zoe,
so sorry.
Zoe, does Lincoln Courts accommodation have a shared TV lounge area?
Yes, it does. It has a shared communal kitchen and lounge area, like the majority of our accommodation.
Fabulous. And we've got a question which I was sort of half expecting about how much learning will be online, or is it course specific? It is really course specific, but what I can guarantee to you is that there will be some face-to-face teaching this year, so don't worry about that. But there will also be some online as well, we guess. But please, as Libby had said when we were chatting to Libby, please check your timetables. And my advice would be, from the 8th of October, when the timetables are out, please check whether your sessions are going to be physical or whether they're going to be online, because that's really sort of key. And we are absolutely determined to make sure that you have, as students, the best experience you could possibly have at the University of Lincoln. That is our aim. Students are at the very heart of everything we do here at Lincoln. So please don't worry about that. There'll be plenty of face-to-face teaching this year for you. Mia has a question. Do we each get our own cupboards in a shared kitchen? Now, that's a really good question.
That is a really good question. So depending on the size of your flat and the size of the kitchen, you should have enough, there should be enough space for you to have 1 to 2 cupboards each. All depends on how you do everything once you arrive, whether you want to share pots and pans or not, and all of that jazz, but there should be 1 or 2.
Fabulous. And I'm going to give you one last question from the audience. Is there key cards for St. Mark's? So I think that's really important as to, sort of how you're getting in and out of your room.
Everything is key card access at St. Mark's, so you'll only be able to get into your building, your apartment, and your specific room. And then if you lose your key card or anything goes wrong with it, you just need to pop and see us at St. Mark's reception or any of the receptions that have key cards, and we'll sort it out for you.
Fabulous, thank you. So, Vicky, you are the face of accommodation, and you are amazing. So thank you for everything that you've done this year with all of these online sessions. But once students have arrived, where would they find support in which, if they are in St. Mark's, Signet Wharf, Gateway, Viking House? We've had all sorts of people this evening that are living in all of our accommodations. So if they have a problem, where do they find somebody from the accommodation service?
Just come and see us at the reception. So each accommodation has its own reception. So just come in and see us, chat to either one of the administrators, one of the receptionists, and we'll be happy to help. Like, don't be afraid to come in and pick up the phone and speak to us. Like, we're more than happy to help. And if it's out of hours, you can always go to the residential wardens. You're going to meet Yannick soon, so he'll explain that. But there is plenty of support for students while they're staying in accommodation, and we're always happy to help.
You certainly are. You are amazing. And one final question, even before everybody has arrived here on campus for this year, Obviously, most people are planning on being with us at Lincoln for 3 or 4 years. So how do they book? When can they book for their next year's accommodation?
So the applications for 2023 to 2023 open in November. So if you're enjoying it straight from the off, do feel free to rebook with us as the applications open very, very soon.
Fabulous. That's good to know. And it's because that will come round really, really quickly when we're already sort of 2 weeks away from Welcome Week. I can't believe how fast it will come. So thank you ever so much, Vicky. You are absolutely amazing. And thank you for joining us this evening. And, please, anybody watching, say hi to Vicky when you arrive here, because she has done an amazing job with all of these lives this year. So thank you, because you've got a wealth of knowledge that these students really need. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me for the whole journey.
It certainly has been a journey. Thank you for that. Right, I'm going to say bye to Vicky and invite back onto our stage is Yannick. Now, Yannick is one of our resident wardens. Hi, Yannick. Yannick, this is our first time of meeting you, so this is exciting. And thank you, Nick, for saying that to Vicky, because she is amazing. I think she's incredible. So, Yannick, my first question to you is, you are a resident warden. Tell me what that is, first of all, because it's a term that lots of people probably won't even know.
No, that's true. So basically, on top of all of the other support you already have at the uni, so accommodation, student support, security, we are another valuable service for students to contact. And this could be for many different things, which I'll delve into later. And we are available to be contacted via phone number or email during the hours of 6 p.m. and midnight. So we use a diverse team of current students, so students who are studying at the university at the moment. It could be second year, third year, masters, postgrad. So they understand the complications and the issues and problems which students may experience. And during those times, you can contact the residential warden team, and we are there to try our best to accommodate, assist, advice, or just talk to the students with anything they might have. So typically students may contact us if they're feeling a bit lonely, or going to uni is a big journey for a lot of people, so they might feel a bit homesick. So if you just want someone to talk to, for example, feel free to contact the residential wardens and our team of students who, like I said, not only just got training, but have also been a student, and they've gone through the things that you're about to go through. But yes, between 6 p.m. and midnight is when you can contact us.
Fabulous. So, Yannick, my question to you is, what are you currently studying?
So I've actually just finished studying. So I've just finished studying criminology for 3 years. I'm now working full time with the residential wardens. But I'm also a senior residential warden, so potentially maybe contacting me when you speak to us. But we are here to help you all. And like I've said, I've had 3 years been at uni, so we understand what you're going through. And if I was going back in time, I would have contacted residential wardens for some of the problems I may have had, and the training and experience they have would help people a lot.
Fabulous. And there's lots of, I've noticed in the chat, there's 2 or 3 students that are coming to do criminology as well. So find Yannick and find out all about the criminology programme, because it is one of our really exciting programmes. I always wish I'd studied criminology. Right, Liam, I am not going to forget that you asked a question. Now, your question was, and you asked myself and Vicky, but actually I'm going to sort of pose it to Yannick. Could you give us some top tips, or tips even, on making a good first impression with our flatmates? Now, this is what you as a team sort of help out a little bit with, isn't it?
So yeah, exactly. So we do get a lot of phone calls because some people might have issues with bonding, socialising in the groups, and getting that past that first awkwardness. But what you've got to understand firstly is that everyone coming to uni is in exactly the same boat. Most of the time people won't know another friend or student there. So you all need to the biggest tip I can give, just get involved, get in there, socialise, whether it be watching TV, whether it will be cooking together, going out on a night out, go to the pub. We've got ample of places to go on campus and off campus. And I think, and obviously we understand that, some people's confidence may not be there. I myself was quite shy when I first came to uni, but I think just delving in, pushing yourself to get involved is the best thing. And like we were talking about with making your room feel more comfortable with bringing things from home, it's the same with what would you use when you're bonding with your friends back at home? So whether it'll be, a lot of people will bring games, board games, or bring your Wii or Xbox or TV to watch. Those sort of things are very easy to connect. And researching ahead as well, what societies are here and what things happen in Lincoln. So you can say to your flatmates, or is anyone interested in this hobby? And we can go out and you can go to those hobbies and groups. And I think it's just go for it. It's my best tip.
Absolutely. Just sort of actually face your fears a little bit, isn't it? And, it's amazing what sort of things you then have in common with fellow students, isn't it? And a good thing to pack when we've had some sort of questions about packing, pack of cards or something as simple as
exactly.
that is always a good thing to sort of sneak into your bag. Maisie, you have asked a question about issues with the building, access, maintenance, those sort of things. Now, Yannick, I know that isn't necessarily your area of expertise, but I guess in an evening you probably get involved in some of those issues.
Yeah. So you typically, if you have any issues within your accommodation, obviously during the normal open hours, you would contact the receptions at each of your accommodations. If it's out of hours, typically you'll contact security. And the security will be the ones who will to contact, if it's an emergency, I don't know, let's say there's some water coming out somewhere, they can contact those who need to get involved quickly as possible. We do get a lot of questions through the phone lines from students asking about the maintenance and all those sort of things. Obviously, if an emergency there, for some reason you can't get through to security, please give us a call because we have a direct line with security and all the other services, whether it's accommodation, student wellbeing. But contacting security out of hours usually, and during the day accommodation.
Fabulous. So one final question for you, Yannick. Thank you so much, because you are a wealth of all sorts of knowledge, which is really helpful for our students, is what kind of event do the Wardens organise? Now, Angel has asked that question.
So currently we haven't released the information yet of what events are coming up. However, we will be facing. So we will be, for example, we typically have not just doing Freshers, but weekly throughout the year stuff like board game nights. Obviously, we will try to expand and do more things like quiz nights and other events. Obviously, please go on our social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, RW, UOL, RW. And then you'll be able to find out what we have coming up. But we also do a lot of events which are for free, for example. And I think, I think it was Liam that asked the question earlier about making a good impression. These sort of events, whether they're free, board game nights, quiz nights, whatever they be, going to those is an easy way to bond with your housemates. But obviously, we've got a lot of exciting things coming in the year, but we haven't got those finalised yet. But please look out.
So when will they be? When will you sort of publish those?
Before Freshers Week, hopefully.
Hopefully. Well,
before Freshers Week.
So you're going to, before Freshers Week, we're going to have a bit of and you're right. Let's, even if you're rubbish at quizzes, how much fun is it going with your flatmates and having a stab at a quiz night? It's always fun. I'm always rubbish at quizzes, but it's always good.
Me too.
Yeah. So who doesn't like a quiz for making a few friends? So thank you so much, Yannick. I'm really conscious of time, I really need to meet with Megan from Wellbeing and also with Talia from the SU. So thank you so much for your time.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
Please say hi to Yannick when you arrive in accommodation, and just be aware that they're here for your support once you're here. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
My next guest this evening is Megan. Now, Megan, you may have also met before on one of our virtual open days. Megan is from our Student Wellbeing Centre. Now, tell us, Megan, where you're located on campus first, so that people know where the drop-in can be or where we can find you.
Yep. So I work refer to it as the sort of centre of campus, but I'm not sure whether that's true anymore because we're getting a bit bigger. But we are sandwiched very nicely between the University Health Centre and the Swan Pub. So you can see we've always got flags and things outside, so you can locate us relatively easily. But of course, if you're ever not sure, do ask somebody, because they will always point you in the right direction.
They certainly will. So for everybody asking, everybody watching, shall I say, tell us just a brief overview of all of the support that you house in that Wellbeing Centre and what's there for us.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so we have a team of wellbeing and specialist mental health advisors. So we, as a service, try and be as accessible as we possibly can. So we run drop-in sessions every single day that you can access. It's worth mentioning probably as well that during the first 3 weeks of term, we do extended hours on those drop-ins as well. So plenty of opportunity to come and talk to us if you want to. The Student Wellbeing Centre is open to all students, not just those who have a disability or a medical condition. It's open to everybody. If you want to talk anything through, if you're experiencing anything that you want to talk through, then come and have a chat with us. You know, students use drop-in for all kinds of things. Sometimes they have specific questions that they want answering. Like I say, sometimes they just want to come and have a bit of a chat. Sometimes it's nice for students to talk to somebody out of context, so somebody who's not a family member or a friend. Sometimes it's nice for students to have access to a service like that. We have a wealth of resources as well that students can access. So, you know, sometimes students aren't quite comfortable or ready to engage with services straight away. So we do have lots of online and self-help resources that students can access. We have skills groups and workshops, for example, building resilience, managing anxiety, building healthy relationships, lots of things to help students build skills and strategies to help manage their overall well-being. We also have a counselling service that students can access as well. They do need to come through one of our drop-in sessions first and have a good chat with us, and then if we think it's appropriate and they're happy, then we can refer into that service. We've got a lovely team of counsellors who can help support as well. So I think the main message is just come and talk to us, come and have a chat. You know, if I think Yannick mentioned as well, we work with the residential wardens quite closely and lots of other services across the university as well, including accommodation. So, you know, if you talk to us and we think, actually, do you know what, another service might be really good to help you, then we can talk to somebody else across the university as well. So if you're ever not sure, please do come and talk to us.
Absolutely. And even if, I think it's fair to say that even if you sort of move in and sort of in those first few weeks or even first few months, you know, actually you just feel a little bit homesick, you are there, aren't you? You know, it might just be a one-off. You just wanted to just have a little chat to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think I've been saying to applicants the last few days when we've been chatting that it's perfectly normal to feel a little bit unsettled and a little bit homesick and a little bit out of sorts in some ways for the first few days or weeks or maybe even months. It's very personal. Everybody's different. And I think Yannick said as well, you know, everybody is in the same boat. It doesn't always feel that way, but everybody is. So don't ever be afraid of reaching out. You know, sometimes you'll talk to people in your flat and you'll find out they feel the same way. But, you know, come and talk to us if you are feeling a little bit homesick. We offer a workshop called Fresh Start, which really looks to address some of those issues that you sometimes experience when you're going through a big change, such as coming to university. And it's a wonderful opportunity as well to meet other people who might be feeling the same way. So it's very informal, and we'll talk through, you know, the kind of things that you can do to help yourself and also why we feel that way. And I think sometimes if you can better understand how you feel, it puts you in a good position to help manage that.
It certainly does. Maisie has asked a very practical question. So Maisie, I'm going to sort of pull that question out now. What happens in terms of uni health service? And it was one of my questions. It was going to be one of my questions, but thank you, Maisie, you've pulled it out. If the university if you're in university ran accommodation, you're staying in, it isn't listed in the address field on your registration form. So it's very, very practical. But I think as an overview, Megan, can you just sort of explain how people can sort of join the medical service, the health service?
Yeah, so you can access the University Health Centre no matter where you're living. So the University Health Centre is wonderful because of its location, and they're also very experienced with dealing with students and the kind of issues that they usually present with. So that in itself is fantastic. there's no, I'm not sure about the, I assume that Maisie means the registration form for the health centre. So if you're not sure, I would, if that is what you mean, Maisie, I would maybe contact the health centre if you have the numbers there to just give them a call and just see. I'm not sure what ones are listed on there, but you can absolutely register. And we would always encourage students to do that, again, because if it's locality, it's so easy for you to access, and they're lovely in there and will always help you. And like I say, that I think a really important thing is that they are so experienced dealing with students and like I say, the kind of issues that they might present with, you know, day to day.
And don't let anything be a barrier of registering. It's really important to make sure that you do register with our health service, because that helps your period of time with us here at Lincoln, because they, as you say, they're amazing and they're open and accessible for us. Charlie has asked a couple of questions about issues with sensory issues, and also is there any support available for trans students?
Yeah, so in terms of the neurodiversity thing, I think one of the things I haven't mentioned, and I should mention, is that we can look to put academic support in place for you as well. So if a student has a diagnosed medical condition or disability, we can create what we call a PASS, which stands for Personalised Academic Study Support. And that really looks at making recommendations from us as a service to your school within the university to say, you know, we've met this person, we've spoken to them, and these are the things we think you could be doing to make their life a little bit easier, or perhaps these are the things we think you ought to know about this person. So sometimes it's just about academic stuff, having that opportunity to be aware of somebody's medical condition or disability and the impact that that might have on them. In terms of support for trans students, yeah, there's plenty of support. Obviously, it depends, of course, of the issues that you're presenting with. We have an advisor who is dedicated to supporting LGBTQ plus students. So she's got a wealth of experience on the kind of issues that you might present with. But absolutely, you know, if there's anything going on for you, you know, come and talk to us. We're always happy to help and very, very open to chat about anything.
Fabulous. So my next question is for you, and then I will pick up Jenny's as the last question before we go and meet Talia. Is if you're watching and you've had ongoing sort of support from your school or college, and you've had that support, and many of those people may already have made themselves aware to you already, but if they haven't, what should they do?
So it's never too late, you know. If you've already spoken to us, wonderful. If you haven't, please don't worry. If you've had lots of support in school or college or at sixth form, I would encourage you just to get in touch with us. So you can email the transitional team at transitionalteam@lincoln.ac.uk. We might be able to get that up there for you. Drop us an email and we'll start having that conversation with you about what type of support you've had in the past, and what kind of support we might be able to offer you at Lincoln. You know, even without doing the PASS, you know, we can have a good conversation about what you've had before. Did it help you? Did it not? Can we replicate some of that? Because obviously it is a big change, and we've talked about the change between further education and higher education. There's lots of differences, and what we want to do is try and bridge that gap that is sometimes created to people with medical conditions or disabilities, and want to do as much as we possibly can to help. So yes, absolutely, it's never too late. Even if you want to give yourself a few weeks, you know, to settle in and then reach out to us, that's fine. You know, when you're ready, do talk to us.
That's fine. And just a final question for you, Megan. You are a wealth of all sorts of knowledge. Ryan, can you put the question back up from Jenny, if that's possible? Jenny's question is, what do you do if you think you may have an unknown learning disability, or you have one which isn't widely recognised? Okay,
so again, come and talk to us. If you suspect that you might have a specific learning difference there that's either not been picked up before, or, you know, what we often find is, you know, people just have not had the opportunity to have that addressed. So come and see us. We can do what we call screeners with you, which is nothing to worry about. It's nothing scary. It's just nice and straightforward. We'll have a discussion with you. If it's appropriate, we can look at doing that screener, and then potentially we can discuss opportunities to get a further diagnosis if it's appropriate. And in terms of stuff that's not widely recognised as well, again, you know, come and talk to us, come and tell us what you've experienced in the past, what's going on for you and what you think might be happening, and then we can start to address those things together.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Megan. As ever, you have such a lot of knowledge, and the team that you work with are absolutely incredible. So please anybody watching, don't be on your own, don't worry. Support is here for you, and the Lincoln team are incredible. So thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you.
See, we've got matching walls, which must mean we have amazing taste. And we will see you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
My next guest is Talia. Talia is our Vice President for Education at Lincoln Students' Union. So welcome, Talia. You may just, or you have just unmuted. That's amazing. Thank you. So my questions, and I'm pretty certain that lots of people have loads of questions about Freshers Fair and Freshers Week and Welcome Week and all of those exciting things that the SU did mainly online last year, but fortunately this year hopefully it'll be slightly different. So can you tell us what we can expect from the Students' Union?
Yeah, so nice to meet everyone. Just for a bit of context, Students' Union is here to basically represent your interests in terms of wider student life and also academic, but we do bring the fun as well. So in terms of Freshers Week, which is the 3rd to the 10th of October, we've got some amazing events. We've got Ray coming, we've got a Chase and Status DJ set, we've got poster sales, we've got free pool in our venue towers, and then alongside that we have Freshers Fair, where you can be sure to get loads of freebies, which is always good when you start at uni. On the Tuesday we have our sports fair, I'm pretty sure. Tuesday it's Societies Fair. Then on the Wednesday, we have our sports fair, and Thursday, which is new this year, but we think will be really helpful for students coming in after the last sort of 18 months, is our health, wellbeing and support fair. So we'll have some of the services that we've heard from today here in the engine shed, which is our sort of massive venue that we have here. So if you're worried about anything or you want to find out some more information in terms of wellbeing and support, then make sure you head down on the Thursday too. But if you head to lincolnsu.com, you can see the full lineup of what we've got, because there's so much going on. It's hard to keep a track myself.
It's very exciting. And what if people have not booked their tickets yet?
Yeah, so again, if you head to lincolnsu.com, we've got a list of the tickets that are still on sale for individual events, and we also have sort of wristbands. So there's different types. We've got bronze, silver and gold. We also have SU Plus this year. They all include different things. So depending on what sort of student experience you want, whether you like going out for food with friends, whether you like sort of live gigs, because with SU Plus you can get discount on that too. So depending on what sort of student experience you want, you can get a wristband. They're different prices, but again, if you go to lincolnsu.com, it has the breakdown of everything that's included. And of course, there's the Freshers wristband that's included in some of them as well.
So Casey has asked a question: are the wristbands worth it?
From my perspective, definitely. So for context, when I started, I didn't really buy Freshers wristbands because I wasn't really sure, and I spent a lot more money than I should have, basically. So again, it's depending on what you enjoy. So definitely have a look at the breakdown. Again, with the SU Plus, you can get discount on food. So for me, I spent a lot of time in Towers, which is our sort of sports bar here. As well, the Swan is part of the Students' Union, the uni pub. So I could have saved a lot of money if I'd purchased the equivalent to SU Plus back then. So just check out the breakdown, but definitely Freshers Week. It's so good to get your flat together, like we said earlier on. And it doesn't have to all be about drinking as well. That's really important to mention. So we've got sort of roller disco, we've got a drag extravaganza event. So we've got loads of different events. So hopefully there's something for everyone.
Amazing. I'm sure there is. You do represent our student body so well, so there will be definitely something there for everybody. One of the other things that obviously we're all very excited about Freshers Week, and that's sort of like the highlight, and I know you're working behind the scenes frantically to make that the best ever. But once students are established and they're here and they've been around sort of the Societies Fair and the sports fair, obviously academic study is quite an important part, and you are here representing that. So how can our students get involved if they want to feel like they want to represent their subject?
Yeah, so Vice President Education means that I work closely with the university and also academics, and I also oversee our academic representation system. So to ensure that we can make sure that every student gets the best experience, basically, and obviously including academic experience, because that is why we all come to university, of course. We have course reps, school reps, and college officers that work together to make sure that your sort of feedback on any courses can be fed back to academics, and then changes can be put in place. So we're actually recruiting over freshers for returning students and first years. So if you email me, which is education@lincolnsu.com, sorry, not com, education@lincolnsu.com. No,
Is it I think it's co.uk, isn't it?
that's it. Sorry, my brain went blank. It's on the website if you can't find it. But yeah, if you drop me an email, then I can keep you updated when those applications open. We also have obviously our sports and societies and volunteering opportunities that you can get involved with too. So there's loads going on. But academic representation, if you like to give feedback, if you like to work with your peers in terms of giving that feedback and making positive change, and that's something to definitely get involved with.
Certainly is. Thank you. I've got a couple of questions before we sort of finish. So just to let everybody know, we're coming towards the end of this session, but please don't feel that this is the end of asking any questions. We're certainly here to please ask questions that you may have beyond this evening. Crystal has asked, and I think we can probably give a bit of a joint answer for this one, Talia, but are there any jobs available for students on campus at the uni?
Yes, so in terms of an SU perspective, I actually worked at the SU. I got the job before I started university, and I worked at the bars here. So we only hire student staff for our part-time bar jobs and also in kitchen and tech. But also we have careers employability that have campus jobs, which post either jobs that are across the uni, so whether that's ambassador roles, again, sort of residential warden roles, those sorts of things will go on there, and also within the local community, so any part-time roles that might be really relevant for your studying, as well as internships, volunteering. So we've got some opportunities basically at the SU, but then across the university and wider. So I think if you're looking for a part-time job, definitely check out careers employability at the careers service, and then if you ever want a job in sort of bar work or anything to do with hospitality, always check out the SU website, because a lot of the time we always have jobs because there's so many events that happen here.
And as Talia said, I sort of manage a lot of the student ambassadors that work with sort of school visits that come on, that work with us with, and I'm sure you will have all have received a phone call from one of our student ambassadors during this journey, and work at our open days to give an amazing experience for potential students. So please look out for any job that you'll want. You know, if you're wanting a part-time job during that first year, look out in that first week where the opportunities are out. Don't delay, because there are some amazing opportunities to work on campus. Which makes life a lot easier. It means that everything's profit as well, doesn't it? Beth has asked, can you buy tickets at the venue? Which I'm assuming is reference to sort of Welcome Week.
Yeah, so at the moment, we don't currently have our reception area open just because of the sort of getting back to normal, shall we say. So I would recommend that you look online at lincolnsu.com, and you can purchase all the tickets through there. If you're having any troubles at all with that though, then just contact the SU and we can find a solution if you're struggling to purchase online. So we always find a way around it. Just at the moment, our main reception area isn't currently open, so don't want to send anyone there and they don't get any help.
Fabulous, thank you. Right, my last question is, we've got several international students that are watching this evening, which is great. And we're so excited that they are arriving with us because they've had a tough time to move international travel over the last year. So can you tell us what sort of support we have for our international students and also our postgraduate students, because there could be some postgraduate students watching tonight as well?
Yeah, of course. So here at the Students' Union, we have Postgraduate Students Association and International Students Association. So if you're a postgrad student or an international student, you're automatically enrolled into, we call it PSA and ISA. So basically that is a place where you can meet other international students or postgrad students, and we'll put on events that are sort of based on your feedback of what you'd like to see, what you'd like to get involved with. Also, we can use it as an opportunity to get any feedback, so anything that specifically you might want to see more of, or anything that you feel might need improving, you can feed that back within those groups, and we can sort of see what we can do to improve your experience. Also, we have a wide range of sports and societies and academic societies, which of course are open to all. We really encourage everyone to get involved. Like we said, dive in when you get here at university. I did exactly that, and I'm so glad that I did, because I got involved with sports, and again, part-time jobs can also be really fun. And then I had a course rep position in my first year, so get involved in those societies. You'll meet lots of like-minded people, which is really exciting, and sometimes you're friends for life, which is so crazy to think about, but honestly it does happen.
It certainly does. I can't believe how many people I've spoken to that have actually said that they've met friends for life in the very first week. I think just to summarise some of the other questions that people are asking, is sort of they want a bit of a taster as to what else they're going to sort of expect. So beyond Freshers Week, obviously we're all aiming to Freshers Week, but beyond that, what else have you on the agenda? You know, we talk a lot on our previous virtual open days with Amina and different other sort of SU representatives about Quack. So I think it's probably would be a good idea to just give a bit of an explanation as to what Quack is and a bit of context to that, and the fact that there are activities throughout every single week of the term, isn't there?
Yeah, so we like to keep busy here at the Students' Union. So Quack is our student night on a Wednesday. Quite often, normally societies and sports will come together. We have a lot of dress-up themes, but obviously more students, if you decide not to be part of a society or sport, obviously come along. We'd love to see you there. Also, our student leaders will be throwing quack ducks for you to collect, and they are sacred. Honestly, if you can get a quack duck across your time at university, I mean, it's like gold dust. So look out for them. And then we also have things like a quiz in Towers venue every week. So if you enjoy quizzes, then make sure you come along to that. There's some really great prizes that you can win there. We have pool tables in our venues. We also have which is sort of away from all the fun and commercial stuff, we have campaigns networks, so we have our liberation groups, which do really great campaigns across the year. So we have sort of the women's group, racial diversity, LGBTQ+, and disabilities and environment. So if you're interested in any of those areas in particular, you can actually join the campaigns group and work on things with like-minded people. They're really important to a lot of our student body, but if you have a particular interest or want to meet people within those circles, then make sure you join them, because campaigns is always really exciting across the year, seeing the positive change and action. So check out them as well.
Fabulous, thank you. Right, I'm really conscious of time, Talia, and there's so much more you could tell us. So yeah. I think the message is, please go onto the SU website to find out more. There'll be information topped up on that website all of the time now to sort of excite you and give you much more information. If you have questions about your application process, your CASs, something like that, please contact the university at international@lincoln.ac.uk, and also inquiries at lincoln.ac.uk, or obviously like the accommodation. So if you've got a physical sort of question about your process to getting us here at Lincoln, then please email after this evening, and we will do our utmost to make sure that we make that journey as smooth as possible for you. Thank you so much, Talia. You are amazing. Your team is incredible, and you work incredibly hard, and you probably will not sleep in about a month's time for about a week.
It's fine. It's fine. You'll see us running around in red. So if you see us, please say hi. But yeah, we can't wait to meet you all. We're all so excited.
Fabulous. You are a brilliant team. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for tuning in this evening. We are so looking forward to you arriving here at Lincoln, and we really want you to have the very best experience you possibly can. And so please enjoy, get all your sleep, get your cash, and get ready for Lincoln. And we look very much forward to seeing you here. Thank you very much, and good night.